is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
In the spot where a 24-year-old woman was killed downtown at the canal, her family and friends gathered today to fight for justice and answers in her case. Thanks for joining us here at 11 o'clock. I'm Nicole Griffin. It's been 3 weeks since Jessica Doty Whittaker was killed, and investigators still need your help finding the person who took her life. Her mother joined the group today for the Justice for Jessica Doty Whittaker Remembrance Rally and Celebration of Life March. Family members tell us Doty Whittaker was a mother, a daughter, and an aunt. Their goal today is to raise awareness and ask the community for help finding the person who took her life.
There's no feeling like it. No mother should ever have to go through that. We expect to bury our parents. We expect to bury our grandparents. We don't expect to bury our children and the loss of any child. I grieve for any mother, all mothers, because this should not happen. We have some amazing support, but I feel lost. I'm still waiting for her to come running through the door.
Doty Whittaker was shot, according to IMPD, at 729 Canal Court on July 5th around 3:30 a.m. Police have released surveillance images of people who may be witnesses and or persons of interest in her death. The homicide is one of 2 on the canal in recent weeks. IMPD is increasing safety in the area, adding 2 off-duty overnight shifts from 10:30 p.m. to 5 a.m. Today, hundreds took a journey from Marion to Johnson County to raise money to honor 2 teenage girls murdered in Carroll County. Rafael Sanchez has been following this story for more than 3 years and shares with us the ride to raise awareness and build a memorial park.
The roar of the engines represented a record 226 bikes participating in this annual ride.
I feel amazed by everybody showing up, coming out to support it. Like on my way here, I can look back in my mirrors and see all the bikes, and it just brought tears to my eyes.
It touches your heart, you know, and it does mine, and knowing that these people care enough to just keep coming back.
The 4th annual event begins at the Kitley Inn in Indianapolis and makes several stops, like this one at the Crowbar Restaurant in Trafalgar in Johnson County. This, a show of support for the families of Abby Williams and Libby German, the 2 teenage girls killed in Delphi in February 2017. No arrests have been made.
To continue to work with law enforcement, I'm still in touch with them, you know, weekly, every other week. They're staying on it. They're still focused, and I'm sure am hopeful, and I pray that we get some sort of resolution on that end of it as well.
The ride is also about this, raising money for a memorial park being built in the girls' memory in Carroll County. On the way back to Indianapolis, the bikes stop traffic, but there are no detours in their hopes that today is the day. In Trafalgar, in Johnson County, Rafael Sanchez, RTV6.
Rafael, thank you. A developing story. A Missouri judge ordered an Indianapolis man accused of killing his 10-year-old son to be extradited to Indiana, where he's facing a murder charge. Anthony DeBaya has been held at a jail in Macon, Missouri since Missouri State Highway Patrol officers arrested him July 19th after he drove away from Indiana. Indiana authorities have until 10 a.m. August 3rd to take DeBaya into custody. The judge ordered DeBaya to be released if he is not picked up by that time. The Marion County prosecutor charged DeBaya on July 20th with murder in the death of his son, Nakota Kelly. DeBaya allegedly told someone over the phone that he suffocated his son with a bag until he stopped breathing. DeBaya reportedly said he took Nakota into the bathroom to make sure he was dead and then dumped his body. Metro Police are still searching for Nakota's remains. Continuing our coverage of the coronavirus and its impact on Indiana, the state health department reports 11 more COVID-19 deaths and 934 new cases. 2,698 Hoosiers have now died from the coronavirus. More than 61,000 Hoosiers have tested positive for the virus. More than 690,000 people have been tested in Indiana, with 8.9% testing positive.
This pandemic is ravaging communities and cities all over the nation, particularly minority communities.
In response to a recent rise of COVID-19 cases, a free drive-through pop-up testing location was held today on the northwest side of Indianapolis. From 9 until noon, the Marion County Health Department held a drive-through testing site at Witherspoon Presbyterian Church on North Michigan Road. We talked to the pastor who says the church often partners with the health department and the city county councilor in that area on various initiatives to help serve the community. He says to be able to host this testing site is an opportunity to ensure the well-being of the community, and it falls in line with the values of the church. Also on site today were local leaders who say this effort is important for everyone's safety.
I think this is going to help the community tremendously. People knowing whether or not they are positive or negative, and also making sure that they don't, if they have COVID-19, they don't take it back to their families and their communities.
I hear so many perspectives about how this is not real and how this is something made up. This pandemic is ravaging communities and cities all over the nation, particularly minority communities. And I am so thankful to Dr. Kane and the Marion County Health Department for setting up not only these pop-ups, but permanent sites where communities who otherwise might not be able to get tested have access to testing.
If you weren't able to get tested here today, you can get tested at the Marion County Public Health Department on North Rural Street throughout the week. There was also a site on Shelby Street on Tuesdays and Thursdays at the Southside Health Department location. Tonight, kids in Marion County now have back-to-school supplies they need to begin the new school year, courtesy of the Salvation Army. RTV6's Stephanie Wade was there today, and tonight she's talking with families about how this helps them, especially right now during the pandemic.
Here at the Salvation Army in Fountain Square, kids are picking up backpacks and other school supplies as part of their back-to-school prep.
I want to hold it.
You want to hold her? As kids get ready to head back to school, COVID-19 has put many families in difficult positions financially, worried how they can afford everything their children need for school this year.
It's helping because financially, we're struggling. And so being able to come get the book bags and some supplies, since they definitely have to have their individuals, is definitely going to be a great help for our family this year.
I think especially this year, it is so important for us to do these kind of distributions because COVID-19 has been hard on everyone. Most of the families that we serve have already been in a vulnerable position, especially financially, and now they're trying to make additionally difficult decisions on less income.
The Salvation Army of Fountain Square handed out book bags and school supplies to 300 children today in Marion County, equipping them with the tools they need to be successful this school year.
A lot of the events that you normally go to aren't doing it this year, so it was great to hear that they were still hosting it.
Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
Stephanie, thank you. To get involved or help with the Salvation Army, just visit their website at salvationarmyindiana.org. Now to your Storm Team 6 forecast. Meteorologist Kyle Mound standing by. And Kyle, we are wrapping up a hot Saturday.
Yeah, we were almost to that 90-degree mark this afternoon, Nicole. I think tomorrow we will get there. And tonight, even with the clear skies, our temperatures are not cooling all that quickly. We are still sitting well into the 70s, 77 in Indianapolis, 76 in Greenwood and Bloomington at 73 degrees. Satellite radar shows that all is nice and quiet in central Indiana. Nearest thunderstorm complex is more than 400 miles away in portions of Minnesota. I think most of us will be dry throughout the day tomorrow. We're all dry to start the day with sunshine, Nicole, and temperatures that are back into the middle 70s already by 9 a.m.
Kyle, thank you. He was part of American television for decades. People knew him simply as Regis. He never seemed to run out of things to say, but now his broadcasts have gone silent. Coming up, remembering the life of Regis Philbin.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Sad news today. Longtime TV host Regis Philbin died last night of natural causes. He was 1 month shy of his 89th birthday. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez takes a look at the life of a TV legend.
You have a sleeping problem, Joy. And it's
A television fixture for more than half a century, Regis Philbin's eclectic interview style, folksy banter, and self-deprecating sense of humor made him the talk show host others wanted to emulate. Philbin was raised in the Bronx. After a stint in the Navy, he headed west to San Diego, where he landed his first talk show, The Regis Philbin Show.
We'll be right back now.
Philbin's sprint to talk show superstardom brought him next to Los Angeles, where he took over hosting duties from Steve Allen, before finally bursting onto the national stage as the sidekick on The Joey Bishop Show.
The hottest thing on records, Regis Philbin. Yeah! What is that?
It's Live with Regis and Kathy Lee.
In 1985, he was back home in New York, sharing interview duties with Kathy Lee Gifford. Their show, Live with Regis and Kathy Lee, became a ratings winner, with the popular duo working together for 15 years.
It's Live with Regis and Kelly.
In 2001, soap opera star Kelly Ripa inherited the stool beside Regis, their on-air chemistry winning them a Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Talk Show that same year. 3 years later, Philbin broke the Guinness World Record for most time on camera, then of 15,188 hours.
This will be my last year on this show. And it was the biggest thrill of my life. Thanks, everybody.
In 2011, stepping down from the perennially successful program Live after nearly 28 years. The veteran broadcaster also graced primetime, most notably as the host of the popular game show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Final answer?
Final answer.
He was married twice and had 4 children. A multi-talented entertainment writer, comedian, and television personality, Philbin will be remembered as a gold standard mixture of sarcastic wit and genuine warmth. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, New York.
Marcy, thank you. Several days of celebrations honoring the life of Congressman John Lewis began today in Troy, Alabama, his childhood home. The 80-year-old civil rights leader died July 17th at the age of 80. Mourners gathering at Troy University, 800 tickets given to the public, the family asking everyone attending to wear a face covering. In 1963, at the age of 23, Lewis was the youngest of the Big Six civil rights activists who planned the historic March on Washington. Lewis led a march across the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, Alabama in 1965, demanding voting rights. He and several other civil rights activists were badly beaten by state troopers that day. On Sunday, a military honor guard will escort Lewis's body across that bridge for the final time.
He became a figure known around the world for action on the Edmund Pettus Bridge, confronting Alabama state troopers. And now Alabama state troopers will lead his body around this state as we celebrate his life.
Lewis will lie in state at the Alabama State Capitol on Sunday before traveling to Washington, D.C., where the man many referred to as the conscience of Congress will lie in state at the U.S. Capitol Wednesday. His final journey will take him back to Georgia, where he will lie in state at the Capitol before being laid to rest on Thursday. Let's now get another check of your Storm Team 6 forecast with Kyle.
Yeah, Nicole, it's a fairly quiet weekend across central Indiana, but it's also quite warm. Those temperatures, after topping out at 89 this afternoon in the city, still sitting at 77 degrees, and you're close to 80 degrees right now in Bedford. You actually made it to the 90-degree mark this afternoon. Tonight, we'll settle back into the middle and upper 60s with mostly clear skies, so that's pretty seasonal. May have some areas of patchy fog. I don't think it's going to be all that thick, though, as we start off our Sunday. Let's jump ahead to Sunday afternoon. We'll notice a few more clouds around, but as far as rain chances, by 4 o'clock, we get into that heating of the afternoon, and I think that rain chance is less than 20%. So most of us are going to stay dry here. Can't rule out that isolated, though, shower or thunderstorm that passes on through. Lots of sunshine otherwise. Temperature 71 degrees already at 8 a.m. We'll get into the lower 80s here at 11. And as we go into the afternoon, we'll keep mostly sunny skies going. More humidity around as well as temperatures make their way to around the 90-degree mark. We'll say a high of 91 in Bloomington and Lafayette, 90 for you in Muncie. But with that increased humidity, we got to talk about the heat index once again. That is definitely going to be a factor heading into our Sunday afternoon. Heat index values middle to to upper 90s. May see a couple of areas that reach that 100-degree feels like number here. So if you do have some plans to be outside, maybe make those earlier in the day. And if you have to be out in the afternoon, want to take some breaks. Looking ahead to Monday, we've got a marginal risk of some strong to possibly severe storms we already got to keep our eye on. That means we could have a couple of isolated storms that have gusty winds as we go throughout our Monday afternoon. Monday morning, though, this is TrueCast at 10 a.m. The rain is off to the northwest. It will pretty quickly, though, fill in and move to the south and east here. As we get into Monday night, still dealing with the rain, but by Tuesday morning, you can see at 5 a.m., that's pretty much pushed south of the RTV6 area. So much of our Tuesday should be dry. Rainfall still looks like about a half an inch of rain, but certainly you get under a thunderstorm, you can pick up a quick inch or so of rainfall. 7-day planning forecast after that system on Monday. Things will quiet down, just isolated chances for showers and storms the rest of the week. Also, the humidity is going to drop, so it should feel pretty nice as we enjoy those high temperatures in the lower to middle 80s. Dave?
And I'm Dave First. The Pacers' Malcolm Brogdon is back from his COVID-19 diagnosis, but the first assist of the restart season comes off the court. Coming up in the Sports Extra Spotlight.
The Pacers continue to work out inside the NBA bubble in Orlando. Their first game is set for August 1st, but player Malcolm Brogdon is savoring a victory of another sort. Nearly 2 months after he took part in the social injustice protests in Atlanta, he backs up his words with action, part of the NBA's new foundation moving forward. Sports director Dave First with the Sports Extra Spotlight.
He's back from COVID-19 and back at practice, but don't let the mask fool you. On a Zoom news conference, the Pacers' Malcolm Brogdon still has a lot to say.
Just growing up, I've always had the opportunity to travel to Africa, Ghana, Malawi, South Africa. I was always able to see poverty, see people that are less privileged than I am at a young age. And that always stuck with me.
As a result, Malcolm launching a new website and foundation at the BrogdonFamilyFoundation.org with the goals of social justice, advocacy, equal access to education, and a clean water infrastructure in Africa.
It's always been a passion of mine. It's always been something where I knew I would want to help people. I knew I'd want that to be my life's passion. I just didn't know how I would do it or through what means or what avenue.
It comes as Malcolm completes his first season with the Pacers and the fourth overall with career highs in points, assists, and rebounds.
I got brothers, I got sisters, I got friends that are in the streets, that are out here.
The young man who helped lead peaceful protests in Atlanta, not unlike his grandfather did with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., now backing it up off the court as much as he'd like on it when games resume.
Malcolm, I know there was a big discussion a couple of weeks ago about to play or not to play, but bottom line, playing gives you this extra voice now to really let people know about this foundation.
Playing allows you to amplify your platform. It allows people to continue to focus on you. And by focusing on you, they're indirectly going to focus on whatever you're saying to the media. They're focusing on whatever you put on your jersey. They're focusing on everything you do. I think I can actually make more noise. I can have a bigger platform and a bigger voice while playing and while continuing my work here in the bubble.
He'll start education programs in Indianapolis and spread from there. The Pacers have made points all season long, making some very big ones for years to come. Dave First, RTV6 Sports.
The Indianapolis Colts say they expect a 25% capacity limit at Lucas Oil Stadium during the 2020 season due to state and local regulations surrounding the COVID-19 pandemic. Under the limit, a maximum of about 15,000 fans would be allowed into the 63,000-seat stadium. The team will offer 2 half-season ticket packages for 2020, with seniority determining who will get to attend the games. For more details on how limited capacity will affect season ticket holders, click on this story on the homepage of theindychannel.com. The Jefferson Award for Multiplying Good honors the unsung heroes in our neighborhoods who are making a difference. Tonight, Mark Mullins introduces you to a man who has reached out across the state literally to help families, veterans, and the hungry and the homeless and those who want to do better for themselves.
When we showed up to the Financial Center First Credit Union in Lawrence, Chief Executive Officer Kevin Ryan had no clue what was about to happen.
Kevin Ryan, you have no idea why we're here.
Kevin is one of those leaders who seeks to raise up those around him. Just ask the guy who nominated him.
A natural-born leader, and he is subservient to the rest of the world. He goes and does what he thinks is right.
The top boss at the credit union, but a man of service too. With Kevin leading the way, the Financial Center has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars through its annual golf outings to donate to organizations feeding the hungry, including the Moselle Sanders Foundation, the Salvation Army Food Pantry, and Gleaners Food Bank.
We just have a real focus on trying to give back to the community. So the ability to be involved with those organizations you mentioned and others is a blessing for us.
Kevin uses his passion for financial literacy to build up local households, offering free classes to arm people with the knowledge to turn their finances around and provide for their families.
They've been able to rearrange their budget, lower their payments for the money, pay off credit cards at a lower rate, and free up money. And actually one person to be able to shop for groceries in a grocery store instead of a food pantry.
Helping feed the hungry, helping families budget and build their savings. And Kevin's doing good list goes on, with a passion to honor those who sacrificed for their country.
In some way, Kevin wanted to pay tribute to Hoosier veterans, so he launched an effort traveling around the state to credit unions, raising more than $300,000 to help build this, the Indiana Military Veterans Hall of Fame, which is open to the public.
The Hall of Fame in Lawrence features historic artifacts and recognizes Indiana veterans and their families. So far, 99 Hoosier veterans have been inducted into the Hall of Fame.
And we have, so far as I know, the only freestanding Hall of Fame in existence in the United States.
Really, it was just so many people's effort. It wasn't me. It was so many people.
So now that you know why we're here in Kevin's office, let's let him in on it too.
And I'm here because you were nominated and have received this month's Jefferson Award for Multiplying Good for all of the work and all of the ways that you make your community a better place. That medal celebrates the unsung heroes who do things just for the good of it without looking for recognition. So congratulations for being this month's Jefferson Award winner.
Thank you so much.
The Indianapolis East Side native and Ball State grad lost his dad to illness at an early age and grew up as an only child raised by his single mom, who put him on a path to leadership and service.
I had this like dynamo mom, you know, that was like serious about this project called Kevin. And, you know, first college graduate in her family. And she made me pay for it, by the way. But she pushed me through those things. I'd say, listen to your mom, you know, listen to your parents, find people in your life that'll kind of tell you where the boundaries are, and they'll keep you inside of those.
Mark, thank you. Kevin's leadership has helped Financial Center First Credit Union win 6 national awards for its adult financial literacy program. And by the way, you can find the Indiana Military Veterans Hall of Fame Memorial on Herbert Lord Road in Lawrence. It's open from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Nominate someone you know who's making a difference. Just go to our website, theindychannel.com. Kyle.
And we're going to be heating things up again tomorrow, a high around 90 degrees. We certainly could use some rain. Best chance of that comes our way on Monday. Then it gets a little comfortable from there. Nicole?
All right, Kyle, thank you. And thank you for joining us. Have a great night. See you back here tomorrow.